we make a video? Should we make a video? What do you think? Ripley. Alright, what's up, fellas? And welcome to my couch. I know that this is a little bit unusual for Gun Thoughts because there's only myself and Ripley here. But, you know, I know that you guys are frustrated with the lack of content, and, you know, believe me, nobody is more frustrated with the lack of content than me. So, I'm gonna make a video right now. I had a good idea, maybe. So, I've been working on this little video for you guys called, does shooting 9mm PCC carbine thingy, carbine, make you better at shooting a, you know, full size in 5.56 or 223, like this one? So we're gonna find out. A little bit of backstory. I imagine that probably the vast majority of you don't follow me on Instagram, but if you do, you would know that earlier this year I made a masterclass in USPSA carry optics. And I would say that I am far and away significantly better at shooting pistol than rifle. It's just been something that I've been really focused on. I've been, you know, just enjoying the game, I guess. I figured, what if I can get a little bit better at shooting rifle by bringing something like this with me when I go and practice pistol, because I basically don't really get a lot of time to practice shooting things like this, and I am planning on going to shoot the PCSL 2-gun championship in the beginning of December, so I figured so I figured that I could, you know, brush up on those skills a little bit, because I don't really shoot rifle outside of when we're making videos on my own. So what do we have here? This is a little 9mm carbine that I put together over the better part of about 18 months. Just, you know, getting a part or two here or there, seeing when stuff goes on sale. I know that you guys are absolute fiends for the parts list on these things, so real quick, we'll just go over what's in here. Over here we've got Magpul SL. This was Cerakoted a weird color, so it was deeply discounted. And then BCM grip that I cut the little dongle off so it fits on these Arrow receivers. Radian Raptor charging handle, that's my favorite. The Radian Talon safety, set it to 90 because I don't really like 45 hyperfire trigger. It's pretty nice. Giant offensive magwell, because why not? The bolt, barrel, and muzzle device are all JP. And then this handguard is from Smoke Composites. It is this cool carbon fiber. I really like it. It's like a stupid thing, but I think it looks really cool on a gun like this. Personal preference thing, obviously, but it keeps the gun really light, which is nice. This is where the magic happens, I guess. Inside the buffer tube, we've got a hydraulic buffer by Kinshot or Blitzkrieg or something like that. I think they might be the same thing. Yeah, Kinshot spacer that is 2.5 ounces, and it makes the gun short stroked, so the bolt doesn't travel quite as far, and this hydraulic buffer plus this 308 spring takes the blowback snap out of things, so it feels really nice. Okay, I had to take the hoodie off. It was getting way too warm. Do you want this? Do you want the cookie biscuit? Speak. Yeah, good dog. All right, so how is this going to work? How am I going to tell if around with this is going to make me better at this? Took this thing pretty much fresh out to the range and had put basically no rounds through it at that point. And I did some baseline testing of my own rifle shooting with it over a few drills. Basically, now that we're back, yeah, that really sucked. I did pretty badly at those, at least to what I would consider an acceptable standard for myself anyway. There are some optimizations that need to be made to this as it is right now. It shoots pretty soft, but the war comp is doing a little too much, and it's making it recoil down basically every time I pull the trigger, which is really unnatural feeling. But that's how I shot the baseline, so that's how we're going to stick with it for now. The idea was I would spend a month or so taking this with me to practice sessions, shooting a mag or two, and then come back to this and reshoot the baseline drills and see if anything changed. It shoots really pleasantly. It's fairly similar to a well set up 5.56 gun, which I really like. That's exactly how I wanted it to shoot. So yeah, I started out by just taking this to practice sessions with me and fucking around with it. And that was pretty fun. That was originally my plan, was to just take this with me and shoot it a little bit, mess around with it, see what happened. But then I jacked up my support hand. So if you don't know, support hand is important to pistol shooting because it's doing a lot of clamping forces on there doing that, and that's doing a lot of the recoil control grippage going on, at least for me in the way that I shoot. But I was dry firing reloads and I just smacked a magazine base pad with this area of my hand, and I gave myself a nice bone bruise up in there. Since then, it's been hands off the pistols completely because I just could not hold them. So that's where this thing entered again. Do you have something to say? Do you have something to add? That's rude. Would you like this? You would. All right. So what that ended up looking like was I just started doing everything I was doing with pistol with this. I started dry firing it semi-regularly, so maybe not exactly everything. I ended up shooting this a lot more than I anticipated I would, and I never thought I was going to take this and shoot matches, but I ended up doing that too. Stand by. And yeah, the first match that I shot with it was, I wouldn't go as far as to say it was a train wreck, but it was pretty bad. I shot a lot of Charlies and wasn't really as fast as I thought I could be. So, I took those things and informed my dry fire practice, and I came back for another match the next week. And yeah, I was a good bit faster and a good bit more accurate, and the result was a good bit better. And honestly, it's been kind of fun in a weird way. So now, where are we? We're like a little bit farther into this than I anticipated because I've been stuck shooting that. And, the end is in sight. The end is in sight. The hand is recovering. I can grab this and I can squeeze it pretty hard and it only hurts a little bit. So big progress has been made, and I think the challenge will be over soon. Yeah, practice does work, but how does that all translate over to this? When I say this, I mean that. We'll have to wait until I actually shoot the final wrap up to find out, but I'm hoping that there'll have been an improvement, because otherwise that would be disappointing. Yeah. Welcome back to a different day on the same couch, and at this point I have finished up shooting the final drills, reshooting the baseline drills. So let's talk about them one at a time. you can't tell what this graphic means, it means that the runs that I just did are in white and the original runs are smaller and in black. It's hard to make takeaways from this one based on the hit factor. Obviously it's going to go up because I didn't fire 4 shots on the first attempt, but I think that generally I did do a little bit better. The hits weren't necessarily that much better, but the times were a little bit better. The time spent with this translated to better fundamentals in general, which allowed me to do things faster. It didn't fix the specific issues with shooting the other gun, which basically boils down to it doesn't shoot all that well yet. Moving on from that one, we'll watch the next one. Holy shit, 254 again. The second drill was the X-Ray Alpha MAXD, Maxed. I don't know if we're supposed to pronounce that one phonetically or not. There was actually a really big improvement on this one. The first run here was a little bit of a fluke, having the perfect hits. Obviously it wasn't repeatable. The time somehow came out to the exact same thing, which was a freak coincidence, I think. Shooting this quite a bit built up a bit more muscle memory of, in the moment, using the support hand to pull it into my shoulder a bit harder, and that definitely did help. Shooting the other gun, I noticed that it was tracking a little bit better just in general, so there was some gains there, but I think the biggest gains for time on this were just the manipulations of bringing the gun up faster, and that is probably something you guys could do with dry fire. Again, on this third drill, what we're seeing here at the end was that, generally speaking, the hits were, not a whole lot better. They were, in fact, pretty much the same on each run, give or take a couple things. But save for the first run, which was really close, all the times were better. Especially that middle distance run, that was significantly faster. Wrapping it all back together. Final thoughts on our 9mm PCCs, a way to get in quality rifle training while shooting significantly less expensive ammunition. Over the course of all of those drills, I would say that the biggest differences that I found were that the times got better. So it seems like fundamental skills improved, allowing me to be just generally faster. The hits didn't get a lot better. They were a little bit better, but generally not a lot. And I think that that's because the recoil with this guy is a lot more well tuned than this one is at the moment. I did notice that this did feel like it was tracking a little bit better, not diving quite as much, and I think that's just because I was pulling it into my body a little bit harder without thinking about it. Is there a ton of value in training with this over just dry firing this a ton and really working on your manipulations and stuff? Maybe not a huge amount, but this is significantly cheaper to shoot, and you need to shoot live fire to inform your dry fire of what you need to work on. And that's what I found here. This was a great way for me to suss out things that I was not good at through shooting it in practice, through shooting matches with it. And I'm still seeing things that I could work on here. So this is a great way to get live fire reps in, to basically expose your deficiencies and know what to work on. So if you are training a lot, I would say that something like this could definitely be worth it, because you'll save on ammo, you'll be able to live fire more, you'll be able to find the flaws faster, and then be able to go and do your dry fire and fix them. 9mm is significantly cheaper than 5.56 and 223 is right now, and this thing just absolutely loves the cheapest 115 grain. It just chews through that, and it feels amazing shooting it. So thoughts for this gun is I need to spend a little bit of time tuning this before the PCSL championship. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna have a kind of frustrating time. I might try to drill and tap some of the ports on the war comp so that I could put some set screws in it to tune it maybe. It's still doing a little bit much, and then I need to do something about the spring and buffer in here. It's only got a carbine spring and a carbine buffer, so not like perfectly ideal right now. So yes, to really just wrap everything up, I would say that yes, there is value in having something like this to train with, but I'm gonna say again, if you're not a super high volume shooter and you're not really interested in shooting matches with something like that, just take your rifle that you already have, shoot some reps on drills, try and get someone to film you so you can see what went wrong, and then dry fire and work on that stuff before the next time you shoot. And you'll probably see some improvements, and it'll be more economical than building one of these to just buy a little bit of 5.56 and shoot it. In conclusion, practice makes you better.